Hello, I'm Sifu Mike, and I'm here to review the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow. Okay, not the movie, the Roadshow. And I feel like it's only appropriate that I do this because, like, last week or so, I made a little 30-second video saying that I'm going to be there. So I was there, so I'm giving you my review out of experience, out of first-hand knowledge of having actually been there, right? And so this is my review of the Roadshow. Not necessarily the movie, because there are a lot of people who have reviewed the movie in their articles and YouTube videos, and those videos have like thousands and 10,000s of hits, and I'll be happy if I get like 10 hits on this thing, and I'll be perfectly honest, half of those are probably going to be my mom. So, hi Mom. Anyways, so this is not a clean review of the movie itself, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. It's the Roadshow. It's a presentation of that film, because I think that's awesome. I think it's an amazing, good idea that, like, I really want to continue and be huge. Alright, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. Now, quick thing about the movie. Not really going to spoil it, because there's nothing there to spoil. Okay, if you've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, you've seen Jay and Silent Bob Reboot for the most part. Now, there's a whole lot more to it. If you are over 30, you're going to get a lot of gags in this film because it's such a pop culture deal. Now, if you're below that, if you're on the young side, this is still an enjoyable watch. You'll still enjoy it. I will say this, it is by far, hands down, the absolute most meta movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen a lot of films. I'm a film geek, and I can't believe the extent to which this film went. Because of that, the more you get to know about Kevin Smith, the funnier this film was going to be. It's just, that's the way it goes. It's like a one-to-one relationship. The more you know about him, the more you're going to get every single little detail of this film, because this is just like the ultimate fan service, right? And it satisfies the biggest Kevin Smith fan, Kevin Smith, and those are his words, not mine. Those are his words. He was like, I'm my biggest fan, right? And I understand that. I love the sound of my own voice too. I like it more than his, although his is a close second. That being said, my phone is ringing. Is it someone I should answer? No, they're trying to sell me some. So I'm going to do a jump cut. And I'm back. Sorry about that. So I tried to do these things as much as I can without cuts. One long take, just save time and stuff and save editing. But people call, and sometimes I got my phone right here and I'm like, gotta take that. So anyways, I'm talking about the movie, actually talking about Kevin Smith. Alright, and as far as getting to know him and him being his biggest fan, right? Kevin Smith, to kind of break this down, is another thing I want to point out. Again, not reviewing the movie, because another reason why I'm not going to review it is that between my own laughter and the laughter of the entire audience in the theater, I probably missed like half the dialogue. Alright, and if you watch a Kevin Smith film, you'll know that's like 3/4 of the movie is the dialogue. So I missed like a third of it. 37.5% maybe. I don't know, man. There's no math in the View Askew universe, or the View Askew verse, or, I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. Alright, I just know they're all interconnected, just like Marvel. But Marvel's Cinematic Universe did it after him. He did it first, okay, because he was borrowing from the Marvel comics. So technically Marvel did it first. But whatever, he was the first cinematic person to put everything, all of his movies together, because he was like, why not? Alright, and so he did that, they're all together, and so that's, again, why I'm not really reviewing this movie. So, Kevin Smith, right? This guy is like a jack of all trades, man. He's a writer, director, producer, showrunner, he's an actor, he's a comedian, he's got, I think, a comic book store, I think he's got a weed store now. He's that happy guy on set that buys everybody food. He's probably a key grip. I mean, he's done it all. The main thing is that he's got this gigantic, like, podcast empire, right? Or people listen to him. He puts out a show, like 2 shows every week or something like that, or every day. It's amazing the level of content that he puts out, and it's like all good. It's all entertaining. It's all about different topics, right? And so, those are the things that he has. And a lot of times this Reboot Roadshow essentially was kind of the brainchild of some of his podcasts, right? Because he would go to places and they would sell tickets, and the places would sell out, and there are people who just want to listen to him talk because he's funny, right? So he figured, hey, let's do this with the movie, right? So he filmed this movie, made this movie, and instead of putting out in theaters like everybody else, he was like, I'm going to take this on the road. Okay, so he took it on the road, and what you do is you go to a theater and you watch the movie with him, all right? And he's like somewhere off in the back or whatever like that, and then he comes out and does a Q&A and talks about the film, all right? It is super cool. I've never seen any kind of format like this, and it's all him. He has that down. He's like this person who is a kind of a geek king, right, in the celebrity world. He knows all things geekdom, right? He's a pop culture icon, essentially, that just knows all this pop culture knowledge, and he's super positive. That's one of the reasons why I really like him. That's what I told him when I was there. I was like, dude, you're always positive, all right? Always positive, and you're choosing to be positive. That's the thing. In a world full of negativity and people who make things easy to be negative about everything, you are choosing to be positive. Now, granted, the weed definitely helps him stay focused on the positive stuff because there's just way too much negativity. And he then survived a heart attack, like a massive heart attack. Like 80% of people die from that heart attack. So he understands that life is short, right? And so he's not going to put any more negativity in the world, because why would you want to do that? Why would you want to add to the pain and misery of others? You just want to uplift everybody. So you inject this comedy into the world, and he's always positive. And like I said, he had the heart attack, so he's now kind of been promoting like healthy lifestyles and how to eat, and he's a vegan and stuff like that, so he makes people happy and hungry. He's like the human embodiment of marijuana, right? If you smoke them, it's bad, right? But not really. In some states it's legal. So, and what's funny is that he has his own weed store. He has like 3 brands of weed, and I really think he should do like the Kevin Smith brand, right? So you can smoke a Kevin Smith, right? The puns are endless. So if he's watching, I don't know if he's ever going to watch this. Somebody who knows him hopefully will watch this and be like, hey, what would be great? Your own brand of weed that has your name on it. He already has his own brand of weed, but I think if he had his name on it, just the sheer potential of puns that are available in that situation are amazing. Anyways, back to the roadshow, right? It is a thing where people watch the film with him, the person who made the film, right? And then they ask him questions. And like I said, fantastic idea. Fantastic, because I'm an economist, right? And we not only know how to analyze and interpret data, but we can spot it. We can see where data is at. And this thing is a perfect collection of data, like exact specific data on the target audience and demographic that your movie is going for, and what is working and what is not, right? And who is working, right? So, like, one of the things that he mentioned in the Q&A was how in, I don't know, I think my city was 53, 83, there's a 3 involved, I think. We're close to the end. But he was saying that out of all those times that he had watched a movie, we were the only audience to respond positively to a certain scene, right? I think, well, not the only, we were number 6. Where everyone like clapped and cheered for this one scene. That kind of information, 1 out of like 53 or whatever, like, or 6 out of 53 gets this scene. So that's information that can help funnel and fuel his decision makings with future projects, right? So he knows what is landing, what isn't, and how often it is landing, right? you have to understand, this is a gold mine of information that can be used to make things better, make things just awesome. I own a business, martial arts business, and I'm always looking for this kind of information to help better inform my business so I can make a better service, better product for my people, right? To reach the people. He is doing the exact same thing. At least I hope he is. And if he isn't, somebody is. I think so. I mean, I saw a dude with a camera, right? He's videotaping, so it's there. The information is there. You can know when people are cheering, what they're responding to, what is making them laugh, that kind of deal. And you can also kind of get a sense of who your audience is from that, right? Like I said, this dude has many hats, right? I actually know him from way back in the day when he was just a filmmaker, right? When I'm a film buff, so like I was all into this thing, and then when I got Netflix, I was like, oh, I'm gonna rent all these Evening with Silent Bob kind of deal, or Evening with Kevin Smith. It was Kevin Smith, and so I would hear his stories, and that's how I came about him. And then it was like, oh, he's got a podcast on YouTube, right? Lots of stuff on YouTube. YouTube/Kevin Smith, right? So there, I'm promoting his YouTube channel, not mine. Go there, lots of good stuff, lots of funny, and he's got this podcast called Fat Man on Batman. Well, now it's Batman Beyond because he's skinny, right? And so I watched that and I was like, dude, this is awesome. And I was kind of like, I can videotape myself. I can talk. I'm a martial artist, right? We talk a lot. All right, that's kind of the sign of a martial arts instructor, is that they talk a whole lot. They talk too much sometimes. Another sign is if they have an ego the size of a small country and a bank account the size of a shoebox. So, starving artist, martial artist, yay. But anyways, so I watched that and I was like, this is awesome. And so it kind of inspired me to do my own thing because I needed my own outlet to talk, because I like to talk, because I like the sound of my own voice. I already covered this, all right? And so, he has this podcast, so there's this difference in audience. There's the potential to have an audience who just knows him from the film realm, and then there's an audience that only knows him from YouTube, and then there's the audience that knows him from the podcast, from the Hollywood Babylon, where he pretty much just gets to really flex the comedic muscles that he has and be funny for like an hour and a half or so, bouncing off a guy named Ralph Garman, right? And so that's totally enjoyable, but you can kind of get the sense of, hey, he's got a slightly different audience in different places, and things like this can tell him and inform him who is really watching, who is really coming, because certain scenes might tailor more towards one and more towards the other, right? And like I said, I hope to God he's already doing this. I would totally do this. I would jump on board because this is a fantastic idea that has the potential of being huge, right? Because again, you can take this information, you can better inform your next film, right? And you can put it out and do the exact same thing and collect even more data and make all your products increasingly better, right? This is not anything new, and Netflix did this way back in the day when they first started making their own original content. They would actually pull viewer statistics, viewer data, and what people are watching, and they kind of made a formula where they're like, okay, we have a TV show that's this long, that's in this genre, that has this actor, and it goes for this demographic. Okay, now we have our box, we should put stuff in it, and boom, it was a massive hit. All right, and the thing is, people have been doing that for years. All right, everyone says like, oh, this is formulaic. Well, everything is formulaic. It only becomes bad when you get to know what the formula is. When you can smell the whatever they're cooking kind of deal. That's a rock reference, I know. But when times change, it's like they're always adjusting the formula, because business-wise, you want something that you can kind of plug and play and be like, okay, if we do this, do this, and do this, that's going to be the result, and that's what we want. All right, so they're always figuring this out. I mean, you can even look at Moneyball. It's a movie about how a guy used statistics to build a baseball team that won a championship. Okay, this is nothing new. Okay, there's nothing new underneath the sun. Using data, using statistics to make things better, right? That's what this can do, right? And the thing is, this has potential to be, like I said, huge, right? Because I come from a kind of a background of music performance, right? And so the music guys, they've been doing this for decades, man. They got it down, right? So you can take this and sort of blend the two worlds together, right? As far as touring is concerned, and instead of doing little small theaters, you can do like giant auditoriums, right? You can have these big things and have like, I've seen certain places they have MCs. They come through in between acts, they do a little comedy bit, right? You can get a comedian to come out before you, like butter up the crowd or whatever like that, give them 45 minutes, an hour, something like that, and then leave that into the movie. They watch the movie, then Q&A, everybody's happy, and you can fill even more of a bigger space because of that. So, because I actually had, I was there with 3 people. One of the people was like, I had a whole lot of fun. I love this. I don't know if I'll do it again because of the price. It's understandable, you know. But here's the thing, if you do like a really big venue, your seats in the back can be like, I don't know, $30 or whatever like that. And then if you have a comedian thrown in with it too, then it's like, hey, they add extra added value to the amount that they're paying, and they're still seeing it on a really big screen, right? Yeah, there are acts who get these really big screens. They exist, right? And so you can totally do all of that. Like I said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's there, man, right for the taking. And there are lots of evidence of just comedians, of one people who have, or one people, yes, right, who sell out entire like auditorium stuff because they're just that awesome, right? So you start to pair these things, you can do that, right? You can get the different persons who can have that and the movie and the Q&A afterwards, and everybody's happy, right? You can do this. This can be done. This can be awesome. And for a genre like comedy, which isn't actually hitting very well in the box office, this could be the best avenue for it, right? The best thing, you know, I can see a lot of people paying like $30 to go see some epic show of this caliber. I think even Kevin Smith has sold out areas really bigger than the one we were at. So I'm totally on board. I think it can totally be good. And at one point, he got into the like movie finances and how finances work within films. And I don't know if everyone else was on board with that, but I'm a film geek and I'm like, tell me how everything works. That's what I want. And he mentioned like, you know, putting all his assets against a loan and financing the film himself, which is not new for him. Like he kind of did that with Quirks 1, right? But now he's got a whole lot more, right? And M. Night Shyamalan did that very same thing when he made Glass and Split, and it really paid out for him. It was a huge risk. He wanted to have complete creative control over that, so he financed the entire thing himself. Now, I think he should do another like roadshow tour before he goes that route to get more data. I think like the more data you get, the better product you're going to get. And the thing is, I feel like, because he's got 3 movies, he mentioned he's going to do 3 movies. This is awesome. Quirks 3, Mallrats 2, and Tusk, right? And I feel like Tusk might have more in common with the feel of Silent Bob Reboot as far as like being a silly comedy, whereas like the Quirks 3 might have more in common with Mallrats 2. So it's like, get Quirks 3 out of the way and then maybe take the risk. I'm just all about no big risk, right? That's me. Either way though, I think this just is a absolutely fantastic thing. A couple highlights from when I was there. There was a lady, I think her name was Liz or Liv or one of those things. She introduced the whole show. She's one of, I think, showrunners or something. She's involved, heavily involved, right? And I remember seeing a thing on Kevin Smith's YouTube channel where he kind of chronicles all the different chapters of being on the road, and number 8 had her, and she does this intro where it's like, if I say Snoochie, you say Booshy, Snoochie, Booshy, Snoochie, Booshy, that kind of deal. And the video showed her doing that, and as she was walking off the stage, a heckler was like, "That was lame," and it kind of hurt her ego. She was like, "That's really, I know." And this, like my showing, she comes out, she does the same thing. I say Snoochie, you say Booshy, but then she switches and says something like, I say best intro, you say ever, best intro ever, best intro ever. So I was cracking up, man. I was like, that's awesome. She was like, screw you, heckler, I'm gonna do this. Everyone else thinks it's fine. And so I thought that was good. And then when we went on to the Q&A, the thing is, Kevin Smith is very verbose, okay? He's got a wonderful way with words. He's beautifully bombastic and behemothly verbose. So for those of you playing at home, that's academic speak for he talks a whole lot, right? You ask a man a yes or no question, you get a 30-minute reply, and it might not answer your question, okay? It might be a maybe, or it might be a, wait, what were we talking about? All right, so he did 4 questions. 4. All right, I got to get that other finger there. 4 questions, only 4 questions, and I was one of them. That was my goal, is that I wanted to get my question answered. The other goal is I wanted to make him laugh. And I succeeded, but I, again, didn't know him, didn't know the audience or whatever like that, so I had a couple of things lined up that I was going to try. One of them landed like gangbusters, but it didn't make him laugh, it made everyone else laugh at his expense, and I felt bad. I like, the look on his face was kind of like, really, and I was kind of like, oh crap, so I'm like backpedaling, trying to get the backstory behind it, because I didn't really mean to do that. It just kind of came out, and I'll be perfectly honest, man, I'm surprised I still have toes as much as I eat my feet, man. It's just like, wow. And so I do that, and I'm trying to get to the point where I'm like, hey man, I really like you and really positive, I'm trying to do it, and this dude comes up, and I don't know if he's a staff or usher or security guard or just random dude with a beard, but he basically was like, shut up and ask a question. I was kind of, I thought he did something wrong, man. I was like, oh no, and it just threw me off, and so I'm like rambling, and I'm nervous, and I'm just like, you're awesome, I'm geeking out, and then I was like, you know what, I'm playing the cancer card, alright, because I've had cancer, and if you watch my other videos, you know about this, you know, I'm a survivor, and I'm like living on borrowed time. He's living on borrowed time. He said so because, you know, we have the heart attack and stuff like that. So like statistically, we might not ever get a chance to actually ever exchange words. I was like, I'm gonna do this. This is my times, might be my only time. So I wasn't planning on it, but have that card, we'll play it. So I wanted to get all that out to him. Wanted to tell him just how awesome he was, and then I asked my question, and I made him laugh, and like 10 other people in the audience, because it was a deep cut reference from his time in film, right, from like the mid-90s kind of deal. And so like I said, only 10 people in the audience got it, but he got it, and it was wholly worth it for me. And then he explained his answer and everything, but didn't actually answer my question, but I didn't care. And so it was just a whole lot of fun. And then there's another person after me who I kind of feel like, he was like, this is the 4th time I've seen you, and I feel like you're a groupie. And then there was another person who asked about like, what is he reading, right? It's a very good question. It's like, you know, you're so creative, what are you reading to you know, what inspires you, kind of deal. And he responded, he's like, well, I don't really read. And I was like, yes, I don't read either. But like the response he gave though was that he's in like creativity generating, content generating mode. He doesn't really have time to take in stuff. He doesn't want to kind of mix 2 worlds be a slave to two masters kind of thing. Just make, then when he's done, he's going to go consume, then make. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That makes sense. I'm totally going to use that next time Robert Aldridge asks me if I read his book. I'm like, no, dude, I don't have time for that. I'm just making stuff. Right? This is my... Robert Aldridge is a writer, teachthesky.com. But yeah, so it was really good, really enjoyable, a lot of fun. It's almost kind of unfortunate that I think the roadshow is wrapping up, but he plans to do it again. Remember I said Quirks 3, Mallrats 2, and Tusk, and so he's going to be doing at least 3 more times. I really want to see a whole lot more. I think it could be awesome. I think this is epic. This is such a good idea. If it comes through your town, definitely go see it. If it comes through your state, man, go see him. This is really good. I think the last time I had that much like laughter and fun in a movie theater was like Deadpool 2. I enjoyed Avengers Endgame a whole lot more, I will say that, because that's Avengers Endgame. Man, that movie is awesome. But as far as like sheer laughing to the point where I can't really understand everything else that's going on because I'm laughing so much and losing my voice because I'm laughing so much, Deadpool 2 was the closest to that, but I still got way more laughs out of Silent Bob Reboot, and then I got followed up with this awesome Q&A session where I got to make him laugh. He spent so many years making me laugh, not even knowing it. I was just watching stuff, he's making me laugh. You know, that's kind of his job, just to be funny. I wanted to return the favor. I wanted to make him laugh, and I did. I succeeded. I mean, I made him smirk a little bit, but like, yeah. So I'm happy, I'm good, you know. And so, like I said, Roadshow is good. I recommend it. It's awesome. I think I've been talking for a half an hour or so. If I get more than 10 views watching this, great. I'm pretty sure half of them, like I said, my mom. Hi, Mom. Again, signing off now. And hope you enjoy this. And if Kevin Smith, if you're watching, man, that show was awesome, right? Ben Affleck, if you're watching, you were the bomb in Phantoms. Had to do that. Anyways, yeah, so take it easy. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. My channel is the tkfmma, right? And so you can click the bell wherever that is at and get more stuff that's actually kind of relevant to what I do, which is martial arts, all right? Martial arts in pop culture. This is just all pop culture. So anyways, guys, hope you learned something, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye.